Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Aaron, and today I'm sharing a video that I'm pretty excited about. It's a project on the car that I've been looking at doing for a while, and I'm finally going to take some time and do it. I'm going to be replacing the speaker system in my 2010 BMW 328i. I'm going to take you through all the steps today, from ordering the stuff online to unboxing it once it arrives, to actually installing it in the car, and we'll do some sound checks as well. Before we get too far into it, I do want to disclose that this video is sponsored by Bavsound. And to fully disclose what that sponsorship looks like is Bavsound did send me these speakers free of charge in order for me to make these videos and do a little comparison. No money changed hands, and Bavsound doesn't get any input on the content or the result of this video before it gets posted. I found Bavsound online a little while ago when I was searching some easy replacements to the stock speakers in my car. One thing that intrigued me about Bavsound's promises is that everything is plug and play, and the average person can really just swap out their speakers super easily. So I'm hoping that what this will help me do is really just maximize that existing system that's in there and just get the clearest sound that I can out of the stock unit without really getting too far into it. And I'm not an audiophile by any means. I really prefer crisp highs and punchy lows. I'm a drummer, so that's what I hear. I hear the drums on the low and the high end. I'm hoping to get some of that out of there, but really just some overall clarity and a little extra volume. And it's no secret that car companies do have to cut costs somewhere in order to make cars actually affordable. And so one of the areas they do cut costs is in the speakers, just the base speakers that they put in the car. And I'm really interested to pull these speakers out of the car just to see how cheaply they're made and to see what kind of materials they're made out of, because I'm not expecting anything great. The first thing I'm gonna do is hop online and order these. I'm gonna take you through the process a little bit so you can see how easy it is to get speakers for your car.
All right, so we're gonna head over to bavsound.com. Go ahead and click on this that says build your kit, and then select your car make and model. Mine is the 3 Series E90 2010 model year, and I have the base audio system. It looks like here I have the option of the subwoofer set and the speaker set, so I'm going to add both of those to the cart. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a universal toolkit as well. Proceed to checkout. Put in all your information here. Mine's been redacted, of course. Continue to payment. Put in all your card info here and then click on Pay Now.
Now that everything's ordered up, I hope that it doesn't take too long to get... Oh, be right back. All right, I'm excited for this. Let's open up the box and see everything that came in there. Looks like this is a speaker pair here, and we got the other pair. I like the packaging on these. I like the logo, very minimal, clean, white boxes, dig it. And then also a little Bavsound sticker there. That's underseat woofer 1, underseat woofer 2. And this looks like the toolkit. Let's take a look at some of the front speakers here. Do that reveal for you here. There they are. I haven't pulled out my speakers yet, but just by looking at these, I can already tell they're built much better than most stock speakers. There's a little wiring harness so that it should be plug and play for me there. Oh yeah, wow, okay. Definitely appear to be built better. The cones don't feel cheap. I mean, I'll have to compare it to the speakers that are in there, but just based off of pulling speakers out of cars before, yeah, these seem a little more quality built. Let's check out one of these Ghost underseat woofers. For everyone wondering, in case you're interested, this is the Benchmade bug out knife. Congratulations, you've just upgraded to the world's best BMW subwoofer system. That's a bold claim. Install both subwoofers before evaluating the upgrade. Good to know, we'll want to put both in. It is critical importance to allow both subwoofers a real world 12 hours of listening for them to break in and perform as engineered. Output is slightly reduced until this break-in period is complete. Seriously, okay, good to know. And then tip number 4 is rock on. Will do, Bavsound, will do. Ooh. Looks like a metal grill on the top of it here. Seems as this one is all metal all around, which I have a feeling the stock system may not be, but we'll find out once we get in there. Logo on there, nice touch. Bavsound on the back. Okay, well, that's the speakers. Let's take a look at what's in the toolkit. It'd be awesome if everything I needed was in here. Very nice. Oh yeah, okay. Man, yeah, looks like this does have everything that I need. Even their tools are branded, look at that. Nice touch. I appreciate the branding. So it seems that they thought of everything. I actually have more things than I likely need in this kit. I will probably just leave this in my car permanently, like in the trunk. That's a really nice touch. Thank you, Bavsound, for putting this kit together. Pretty thoughtful. More branding even on the toolkit. Nice touch. I think we're pretty much set. Only thing left now is to install and give it a listen.
Alright, so what I did before starting the install is I did get sound levels from each speaker in the car individually, just so we can hopefully do a before and after later, as well as capturing the sound from the entire car. Step 1 here is remove the car seat from the back seat. You will want those out of the way to work. And vacuum up all of the inevitable mess you found that your kids have left you. Raise your headrest all the way up as high as it'll go. Grab your nylon plastic tool and pry up gently on one of the corners from the speaker, and you'll see these little tabs will pop out. Get all 4 of them around the sides, and the back slots just slide right out. We're going to be using an 8mm socket and the small socket wrench that came in the set. Take out these 3 8mm bolts from the rear speaker and set them aside. From here, the speaker should lift right out of the slot, and the best way I've found to get the plug out of the back of these speakers is to actually grab the wires and just gently pull. Let's pull the new speaker out of the box, take the plastic off, and just make sure it looks all right. Then you're going to want to connect the cable before putting the speaker back in. Slide it back down and make sure all the screws line up, and put the bolts back in. Hand tighten each of them down just to make sure they all fit well. And then snug with the wrench. To put the grill back on the top, just put the slots in the back in first, and then snap down each of the 4 clips till you hear a snap. Now, I wasn't going to show each side of this because, well, both sides are the same, so you're just going to be repeating all of the steps. But I found an interesting little reason as to why my rear passenger speaker was not working. It seems the magnet and the plug were just totally disconnected from the speaker. I don't know what happened, they just seemed to come off. So now let's move on to the front door. You're going to start with your plastic tool by pulling off this little strip from the trim on the door. Grab your T20 Torx bit, and the best tool to use here is just the long-handled screwdriver. There's going to be 3 of these T20 bolts in the door here, so back each one of those out. Then using your plastic tool, gently pry at the bottom corner of the door until you start hearing pops from the clips releasing. Along the top of the door, there are a few clips holding it in, and then make sure to pull the lock mechanism out. To release the cable from the back side of the door handle, you're going to want to grab on the back side of the white clip here and just pull straight up and towards you. And remove the 3 bolts from the back of the speaker and slide it out, and then pull again gently on the wires. Let's grab that new speaker out and just kind of do a little side-by-side to see how they look here. You can really see that the Bavsound stuff is just built a little better. Now place that new speaker back in. The bolt holes should line up just like the stock ones do. Put all 3 bolts back on by hand and then snug them down with the wrench. You do get a little bit of extra cable here, so I just kind of wrapped it around the back side of the speaker to keep it up from hanging outside of the door. Connect that cable together, and to put the door back on, just do the exact reverse steps from taking it apart. Check that handle just to make sure it works. And then you're going to want to watch these clips, make sure that they're lined up with the hole along the bottom before pressing everything back in place. Put your 3 T20 bolts back in the door. And then put that plastic trim piece back in, lining up everything before you gently, I said gently, press it back in place. And now for the subwoofer install. Go ahead and move your seat all the way back. For this, you're going to need a T50 Torx bolt, and remove the 2 T50 bolts holding the seat in on the front side. They're going to be pretty snug, so use some elbow grease. Then slide the seat as far forward as it'll go, and remove the 2 T50 bolts from the back. all we're gonna do is tilt the seat backwards to give us some clearance. This is another really great time to clean under that seat. For this, we're gonna grab a Phillips head and use that long-handled screwdriver to take the subwoofer grill off the speaker. You can see here that the carpet does cover up the speaker just a little bit, so we're gonna gently pull that back. I did remove the plastic trim piece on the door. That kind of gave me a little extra play on the carpet to pull them out of the way. Grab your T10 Torx bit. Use a small handled wrench to take out the Torx screws. And then mine was a little bit hard to get out, it didn't just lift right out, so I used this metal pry tool to just give me a little bit of leverage. And there is a little tab on the side of the speaker wire here, so just depress that and pull straight out to remove the woofer. Grab the new woofer out of the box, just give a quick once over, make sure everything looks okay. And here's a little side-by-side comparison of the two. You can see that the stock speaker actually was facing downward compared to the Bavsound one, which faces up. Connect the cable in first and make sure it's nice and tight. And then that speaker just drops right into place where the old woofer was. Make sure to put all of those T10 bolts back in place. Give them a little snug. And then run the extra wire just along the channel here underneath the carpet. Make sure the carpet is nice and laid back in place how you found it. And then we're gonna replace the plastic grill on top of the woofer. Tighten down all those Phillips screws and don't go too fast or you might, throw your wrench. Very last thing to do is to put all those T50 bolts back in the front and back of the seat. Repeat this step to finish the 3 speakers up on the other side of the car. Give a quick listen to make sure everything does actually work, and you're done.
All right, I am back now in the car. It is the next day. I finished up late last night and I actually managed to kill my battery in the car. I went to start it to, test everything and move it back to where I had it before and go for a drive real quick, and the battery was dead, so I had to move my wife's car over and jumpstart the car. Anyways, I think overall it probably took me about 6 hours, I would say, to install the whole thing, but that is with filming every step and getting different camera angles and lighting and all that kind of stuff. So I calculated it down. I think it was maybe about 60 to 90 minutes total to install all of the speakers and get everything back in place and working. I did test along the way each speaker just to make sure they were actually working. I only played vocals. I just was playing a podcast that I had. And I test just a couple of seconds of it just to make sure sound was actually coming out of each speaker before I, bolted everything back up. You don't really have to, you can kind of just test when you're done, because honestly, it's pretty easy, especially in this car, only 6 speakers. Everything's pretty easy to get to. It wouldn't take more than 10, 15 minutes to figure out where the problem was and correct it after. But yeah, I just listened to some voice from a podcast to make sure each one was working. I didn't want to spoil anything on sound. I wanted to listen to everything after all 6 speakers were in and ready to go. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to listen to that same song again from Micah, just to get a bass level, because I listened to that one a lot before when I was sound testing each speaker. So I'm going to really hear how it sounds after. Okay. Wow. Got bloodshot eyes, I'm feeling fine. My knees aren't quite as sturdy. Yeah, wow. I really hear a difference in the high end specifically, and I can definitely feel more low end coming from underneath me. It's hard to explain, but it's more of like I feel it more rather than hearing it. Whereas before I would hear a lot of the mid-tone, because those woofers, that came with the car, like I had said, were just kind of the mid-range woofers. So they just played everything, but because they're under the seat, and I think they were actually facing downward too, you only really heard the low end. And I do plan on putting out another video. It'll be shorter than this one, but it'll just highlight the before and after sound, and I'll play a little more of the clips, and it might be hard to really translate just with a Zoom recorder. Hopefully you'll be able to hear a little bit of a difference, and
kind of tell the difference in the sound. So let's go for a quick drive to hear how it sounds on the road. I am gonna turn on the air conditioning because I live in southern Arizona and it's summertime, so it's in the hundreds. So I'm gonna have to turn it on.
Time hasn't been kind, it's taking a toll. Maybe it's getting better for this old bitter soul. 22, 22, the end of February. 22, 22, let's hope it's legendary.
So I think where I hear the biggest difference is in the clarity. And what I mean about the clarity is, I mean like that, the high end and the low end specifically. I can really hear a lot more of the highs. This car doesn't have any tweeters in it, and so I think really before I didn't even realize how much that like really crisp high end was missing. Like I said, I'm a drummer. I really like the low punchiness and then the high end, the crack of the snare, the cymbals. I can hear that come through a lot more, and I really enjoy that. And so do I think it was worth it overall? So I do, and that's easy for me to say because Bavsound did send me these to make the video. But I think my time exchange for making the video and putting all this out, I think it was worth it for sure. It just sounds a little bit richer to me. So I want to say thanks again to Bavsound for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you guys sending this out to me and letting me give a run through and test everything out and share it with everyone out there. I will have a link down in the description if you're interested in checking out a set for yourself of these speakers. I will get a small commission on that if you purchase through my link, so thank you in advance. If this video was helpful for you at all, hit that like button. It really does make a difference. And don't forget again, I'm gonna have a link in the description to Micah's music, so go and check him out as well. And thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you on the next one.